You are not here by accident, Virgo. Something inside of you pulled you to this very message, like a quiet bell that only your spirit could hear. On this day, the veil is thinner, the energy's more alive, and the signs whisper louder than usual. Have you ever felt that sudden nudge, that soft yet undeniable tug at your chest? That is the universe aligning your path with this moment. This is not for everyone. Only those who are awake enough to catch the signal will truly understand what is being spoken now. You are one of them. October the 3rd carries a special vibration, a hidden current beneath ordinary time. It is not a date on a calendar. It is a cosmic test, a gate opening to separate what is heavy from what is destined. For Virgo, the challenge is precise and sharp, like the blade that cuts away the unnecessary. In this window, 7 karmic traps appear. Some will not even notice them, walking blindly into repeated cycles. But you, standing at this threshold, have the chance to avoid them and unlock what is waiting. Here is the truth. Miracles and breakthroughs are written for you in this energy. But the same force that brings blessings also reveals shadows. If you align, if you choose awareness, you will rise into clarity, guidance, and strength. If you ignore it, the karmic traps can catch you, pulling you back into old webs of confusion, delays, and tests that feel endless. This is why today is not ordinary. It is a mirror reflecting both promise and threat. Imagine this message as a map. In the next moments, you will see what these traps are, how they disguise themselves, and how to act so you remain free. You will also learn how to read the subtle signs that guide you toward your destiny. Stay until the end, because a decree waits, a final spoken key that seals the alignment into your timeline. Without it, the gate may remain half open. With it, the energy locks into place. So breathe deeply, Virgo. This is your moment. The path is laid before you, and every word ahead will be a light for your steps. The journey begins now, and as it unfolds, you will see not only the traps, but also the hidden treasures that reveal themselves only to those who are awake enough to look. Virgo, your journey has never been one of shortcuts or easy applause. You have walked in silence, often carrying burdens no one else could see. The world may have overlooked your discipline, underestimated your patience, and taken your sacrifices for granted. Yet beneath that surface, every unseen act has been building a foundation. You know what it feels like to give without recognition, to persist when no one is watching. That quiet endurance has not been wasted. It has been preparation. What you endured privately is now preparing to transform into public honor. The pain you carried alone, the moments when you questioned whether the effort was worth it, these were not signs of weakness, but signs of initiation. Every quiet yes you whispered to your higher self, even when exhausted, was recorded in the invisible books of the cosmos. Nothing has been lost. The silence was never empty. It was the soil where your roots were growing deep. Virgo energy is not about rushing or demanding. It is about precision, about weaving order from chaos, about restoring what others neglect. You have been serving a mission larger than yourself, even when you did not realize it. In fact, part of your karmic role is to break the repeating patterns handed down through generations, cycles of self-doubt, cycles of scarcity, cycles of silence. You are the one called to interrupt them. That is why the challenges often felt heavier for you than for others. And though at times you may have thought the heavens were quiet, know this: the sky saw everything. The invisible has been recording each seed you planted, even when no fruit seemed to appear. That ledger is full, and now it seeks balance. The scales are shifting, and your energy is being prepared for release into a wider space. Today, you are not being asked to work harder, to prove yourself once more. You are being asked to understand why the preparation was necessary, why the silence mattered, and why the struggles shaped you into a vessel that can now hold what is about to be poured out. This is not punishment. It is alignment. You have been refined to carry what is coming. Take this truth with you as we step deeper. For the real question is not what you have endured, but why this very day carries the weight it does. And in that, the mystery begins to reveal itself. There is a reason why this day feels different, Virgo. The invisible patterns around you are shifting, rearranging themselves like pieces of a puzzle finally locking into place. October the 3rd is not random. It carries the vibration of alignment, a window through which karmic lessons surface with sharp clarity. This is the architecture of the unseen, a kind of spiritual engineering where the past and the future intersect. What you feel now, the heaviness or the sudden flashes of intuition, is evidence that the veil has thinned. Astrologically, the energy resembles a waning moon, the phase of release. It is the time when old skins are shed, when attachments loosen their grip, and when cycles that no longer serve are ready to dissolve. Alongside this, there is the influence of a quadrature, a cosmic tension that forces choice. In simpler words, the sky is staging a test. The trap is hidden in the tension. Repeat the cycle, or step into liberation. This is what makes today not just another date, but a cosmic test, a filter between stagnation and breakthrough. A karmic trap is subtle. It does not appear as danger, but as familiarity. It comes disguised as the same conversation, the same temptation, the same conflict you thought you had already resolved. Its purpose is not to punish, but to check if you have truly learned. That is why the same faces may appear, the same challenges may resurface, and the same doubts may whisper. This is not regression, it is verification. How do you recognize the signs? Many have already felt them. Restless sleep filled with symbolic dreams, a strange weight in the air upon waking, sudden déjà vu moments that freeze time, or repeated encounters with numbers like 1111, 333, or 777. These are not coincidences. They are markers pointing you to awareness. Do not enter this moment with fear. Awareness is greater than fear. When you name a trap, you weaken it. When you see the pattern, you already loosen its hold. That is why understanding the 7 karmic traps today matters. They are not meant to scare you, but to sharpen your sight, so that you walk with clarity instead of confusion. And so, Virgo, the stage is set. The energy has gathered. The tension in the air is not random, it is a call to attention. Let us begin to open the traps one by one, exposing their hidden shapes so that you may step past them and continue toward your breakthrough. The first karmic trap standing before you, Virgo, is the projected shadow. It does not come as a stranger, but through familiar voices, often from those closest to you. It is when others hurl their wounds at you, accusing you of what they themselves fear to face. Suddenly, you may find yourself criticized for traits you do not carry, blamed for failures that are not yours, or treated as the mirror of someone else's brokenness. This is not new. It has followed you in different forms, but today, it comes sharpened. You may notice the symptoms quickly. Conversations that twist your words. A sense of being misunderstood, even when you explain yourself clearly. Someone labeling your discipline as coldness, your attention to detail as control, your silence as disinterest. These are shadows being projected onto you, attempts to place on your shoulders the weight of what others refuse to hold. The trap is subtle. If you accept these false images, you begin to live out a story that was never yours. Picture this: a Virgo at work, careful and precise, double-checking a task. A colleague, threatened by their own carelessness, accuses Virgo of being obsessive or difficult. The room believes the louder voice, and Virgo is left carrying guilt that does not belong to them. This is how the trap operates, by confusing identity with projection. The most common error is internalizing these shadows. Virgo, with your self-critical nature, you may believe the accusations, thinking, maybe they are right, maybe I am too much. This is how the trap closes, not through attack but through your agreement with it. The immediate protocol is simple yet powerful. First, ground yourself. Feel your feet pressing into the earth, your breath anchoring your presence. Second, visualize a mirror of light surrounding you, reflecting back what does not belong. Say to yourself, "Their shadow is not my truth." Repeat it until your body feels lighter. This small act disrupts the cycle, refusing entry to what was never yours. This first trap is not here to break you, but to reveal your strength. By recognizing it, you reclaim your clarity. And as you step out of its grip, you prepare yourself for what lies ahead. For the next karmic snare is woven not of accusations, but of invisible drains that can leave you hollow if you do not see them coming. The second karmic trap waiting for you today, Virgo, is the presence of energy drainers. Unlike the sharp sting of projected shadows, this trap seeps in slowly, almost invisibly. It shows up in people, places, and even habits that quietly pull your vitality away. These are the forces that leave you exhausted after a short conversation, the invitations that look harmless but weigh you down, the endless obligations that never seem to return the energy you invest. You shine with quiet diligence, and that light attracts both seekers of truth and those who only want to feed on it. When portals of opportunity open, as they do now, they open in both directions. Just as blessings can flow in, leaks can form if you are not alert. Spiritually, this looks like cords attaching to your aura, invisible strings tied to your attention and effort. In the physical world, it appears as sudden fatigue, unexplained irritability, or even unexpected financial drains. Money disappearing into things that do not serve you. Virgo, your generosity is your gift, but today it can become your trap. Imagine this scene. You receive a call from someone who only contacts you when they are in crisis. You listen for an hour, offering guidance and empathy. Yet when the call ends, you feel drained, almost emptied out. Hours later, you struggle to focus on your own work, your clarity clouded. That is the work of an energy drainer. It is not always malicious, it is often unconscious, but it is still dangerous if you do not notice. The error many Virgos make is confusing compassion with obligation. You may think, if I do not help, I am being selfish. But the truth is that your energy is sacred currency. If you spend it recklessly, you will not have enough to sustain the blessings arriving for you. The trap convinces you that saying no is unkind, when in fact, boundaries are an act of protection. The protocol to counter this is clear. First, cut the cords. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and imagine sharp golden scissors severing any strings pulling at your field. Second, cleanse yourself physically. A salt bath, a shower with intentional breathing, or burning incense around your body. Whisper, I return what is not mine. I reclaim my energy. The energy drainer trap teaches you discernment. Not every door that knocks deserves to be opened. And as you master this boundary, you prepare for the next trap, one that does not attack your spirit directly, but clouds your material world. Confusion around your resources, your finances, and your sense of stability. The third karmic trap that reveals itself today, Virgo, is financial confusion. Unlike the draining presence of others, this one comes from within the material field, where clarity suddenly dissolves and stability feels uncertain. Bills seem to appear out of nowhere, numbers blur, and opportunities that once looked solid now shimmer with doubt. It is not only about money, it is about the sense of security that money represents. This trap aims to shake your grounding, to make you question whether you are safe, supported, or capable of sustaining your path. The symptoms can be subtle at first: misplacing a payment, forgetting a deadline, or receiving unexpected charges. Then, larger temptations may arrive, offers that look promising but hide hidden costs, investments that glitter but are unstable, or sudden desires to spend recklessly as a way of soothing unease. Virgo, your natural tendency is to manage and organize, yet in this trap, confusion clouds your usual clarity. You may find yourself second-guessing decisions, feeling pulled between holding tight and letting go, between fear and trust. This inner conflict is the essence of the trap. It is like a cosmic tug-of-war between your cautious mind and your intuitive heart. One voice says, Save everything. You might lose it. Another whispers, spend it, or you will miss the chance. The danger lies not in the options themselves, but in the fog that clouds your judgment. The trap is not about numbers, it is about distortion. Picture this: a Virgo carefully planning expenses, only to be lured by an unexpected message offering instant financial freedom. The message seems too good, yet in the moment of tension, the temptation feels almost irresistible. This is how the test presents itself, not in obvious scams, but in half-truths that appeal to both fear and desire. To overcome this trap, you must anchor yourself again. Slow down. Do not rush decisions when the fog is heavy. Return to the breath, write things down, look at the numbers with calm clarity, and ask yourself, does this align with my long-term stability? Trust the grounded voice within you more than the rush of outside promises. The test here is about discernment, about choosing clarity over chaos. And as this layer is revealed, you will see that the battle is not only external. The true weight lies inside, in the inner war between fear and courage. And that is where we now turn, to the invisible battlefield within your own being. There was once a Virgo soul who carried the quiet weight of responsibility. Each day felt like a balancing act, trying to manage both the demands of the outer world and the whispers of an inner storm. On this particular morning, the confusion around finances had grown unbearable. Bills blurred into numbers that seemed to multiply, unexpected expenses arrived like waves, and the heart raced with the thought of losing control. To the outside eye, everything looked steady, but inside, the Virgo felt pulled apart, caught between the fear of lack and the hope of abundance. In the midst of this pressure, a small sign appeared. While purchasing something simple, their eyes caught the total printed on the receipt: 777. For a moment, time froze. This was not coincidence, it was a message. 777, the number of spiritual fortune, the whisper of alignment. The Virgo remembered that the universe does not speak in noise but in symbols. That sequence of numbers became the reminder that the storm was not punishment but a test. The inner conflict did not vanish instantly, but clarity began to break through. The Virgo decided to pause, to step back from the noise. Sitting down, they wrote a single sentence in the present tense: I am supported, I am guided, and my resources flow with clarity. The words were signed and folded, then carefully burned in a safe place, the ashes released with intention. It was not about forcing an answer, but about releasing the weight, trusting the unseen order behind the chaos. Within hours, a subtle shift arrived. The anxiety that had tightened the chest loosened. A forgotten detail surfaced that solved part of the confusion. A sense of calm, small but undeniable, began to spread. The financial storm was not magically erased, but the fog lifted enough for clear steps to appear. The Virgo saw that the trap had only held power when fear dominated. The moral of this story is simple. Karmic traps are not prisons, but mirrors. They reveal where awareness must grow, where old cycles demand to be broken. And as this Virgo soul discovered, small rituals of clarity and release can dismantle even the heaviest patterns. What matters is not perfection, but presence. The choice to act consciously in the middle of the storm transforms the trap into a doorway. And with that doorway open, the next lesson reveals how to use intention itself as the tool of liberation. Virgo, the next step is not to fear the traps, but to master the art of alignment. For the law of attraction is not a mystery kept from you. It is the very current that flows through your being. The key lies in using intention as a compass, emotion as fuel, action as proof, and release as trust. This fourfold sequence turns chaos into clarity, transforming obstacles into invitations. Begin with intention. Clarity is power, and the universe responds not to vague wishes but to defined frequencies. Write your desire in the present tense, as if it is already alive. I walk in clarity. I hold my energy. I move in freedom. When your words carry precision, the energy knows exactly where to flow. Then, ignite elevated emotion. Close your eyes and summon the feeling of what it means to already live this truth. Gratitude, joy, lightness. Let them fill your chest until your body vibrates with the memory of a future already chosen. Emotion is the magnet. It draws the unseen into form. The third movement is aligned action. Do not wait for the perfect sign. Take a small step that reflects your intention in the physical world. If clarity is your goal, organize one corner of your space. If abundance is your prayer, save one coin or share one gift. Each step, no matter how small, anchors the energy into reality. And then comes release, the hardest and most necessary part. Do not clutch the outcome with anxious hands. Instead, surrender it like a seed planted in soil. Trust that it will sprout at the right time. Obsession suffocates. Trust allows growth. Whisper to yourself, I let it go. I allow what is aligned to come. You can amplify this process with a simple ritual. As the moon wanes, take a piece of paper, write what you are ready to release and burn it safely, watching the smoke carry the old away. Or stand by an open window, light incense, and say aloud, I return all that is not mine. I open to what serves me. These acts are symbolic, but their power lies in your belief. Remember, Virgo, protection is part of alignment too. Guard your energy through breath, through cleansing, through conscious choices. The traps lose power not when they vanish, but when you stand above them. And when you have acted in this way, the question naturally rises, how will you know that you have passed the test? The signs are closer than you think. You will know you have stepped past the traps when the atmosphere around you begins to shift in quiet but undeniable ways. The signs of alignment are subtle, yet powerful, and they arrive as confirmations that your spirit has moved into harmony with the greater flow. You may feel sudden waves of chills across your skin, as if the universe itself brushed against you. You may notice repeating numbers, 111, 222, or 777, appearing in clocks, receipts, or messages, reminding you that you are walking in rhythm with something larger. Another confirmation is clarity that appears without effort. Thoughts that once swirled in confusion settle into order. The decision you struggled with suddenly feels obvious. Peace arises for no clear reason, not tied to circumstances but born from within. This is the vibration of alignment, serenity without explanation, joy without cause, certainty without proof. It is the soul recognizing its rightful frequency. But sometimes, Virgo, you may not feel anything at all in the moment. Do not mistake this silence for failure. Often the energy completes its work beneath the surface, delivering its message later in dreams or in quiet insights that emerge within the next 2 days. Trust the process. The absence of immediate signs is not rejection. It is incubation. To maintain this alignment, create a daily habit of anchoring. Begin each morning with one breath of intention, one phrase of affirmation, and one gesture of grounding. It may be as simple as touching your chest and declaring, I walk in clarity today. These small acts are like tuning an instrument. They keep your vibration steady, even when the world's noise tries to pull you off key. Guard yourself for the next 24 to 48 hours. Avoid drama that drains. Avoid impulse purchases that distract. Avoid sharing too much of your inner work with those who cannot hold it. This is sacred space, and it must be protected as your energy stabilizes. If you are ready to anchor this, declare it now. Comment aloud or within your own heart. I claim my cosmic test. By voicing it, you seal it, making your alignment not just a thought, but a spoken decree. And as this truth takes root, one final step remains, the decree that locks everything into your destiny, the moment where your soul's voice speaks louder than any shadow. Network connection lost, attempting to reconnect. You were never meant to walk as ordinary, Virgo. Your path has always carried the quiet weight of purpose. the subtle glow of a soul chosen to move through trials not to be broken, but to be refined. Today, as the cosmic test reaches its height, you stand at the threshold of something greater. October the 3rd is more than a date. It is a filter, a gate where karmic traps dissolve for those who see clearly, and destiny opens for those who step with courage. Look back for a moment. You have faced the shadows projected onto you, refusing to carry what was not yours. You have reclaimed your strength from those who drained your energy, choosing boundaries over depletion. You have walked through the fog of financial confusion and steadied yourself in truth. You have stood in the storm of inner conflict and discovered the power of conscious choice. You have seen the signs, received the numbers, and practiced the rituals of release. You have learned the rhythm of alignment, the balance of intention, emotion, action, and surrender. And now, the final step is before you. It is time for the decree. Speak it not as a wish, but as a declaration. Say aloud, with your whole being, I release the 7 karmic traps and open to breakthroughs. Let the words vibrate through your chest. Let them echo in your bones. And let them rise into the unseen realms. This is not just a sentence. It is a key that locks the gate behind you and opens the one before you. Now, anchor it into the world. Comment with the decree, I claim my cosmic test. By doing so, you do not only affirm it for yourself, you join the chorus of Virgo souls aligning today, sealing the collective energy of this passage. The decree is both personal and communal, a thread weaving you into a greater fabric of awakening. Know this: the next portal may arrive sooner than you expect. The messages of alignment do not end here. Stay open, stay awake, for the universe often whispers before it shouts. And so the image closes. You stand before a glowing gate, light spilling across your path, mountains rising behind, the horizon ahead filled with promise. Step forward, Virgo. You have passed the test. The breakthrough awaits.